Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Y'all seeing what's going on here? Man, the heavyweight division is starting to percolate. Just like that welterweight division, isn't it? There's some moves being made. I need to sit here, man, and drill down to get into the weeds to really identify what we can expect in the next 6 months. Damn, you got Joyce and Zhilei about to fight. You got Hrgovic and Andy Ruiz about to fight. You got Deontay Wilder maybe getting in there with Usyk. Tyson Fury in the breeze. Derek Chisora, Dillian White, who knows what the hell they have going on. AJ about to make a comeback. Could be Franklin, could be the Aussie fighter. There are some things percolating in the heavyweight division. So Eddie Hearn is still finding a way to just, claw and fight tooth and nail to stay relevant. But I really think it's going to come to an end. I like Zhang. He can hit. He should have won that fight against Hrgovic. Just being real. Hrgovic, that's one of them fights where when you got a guy, like they should have stopped it. Hrgovic, maybe because he had lost his father, so I want to be fair to him, you know what I'm saying, and show some empathy, but when you got a guy who's just turning his back in the ring and running away, and those are grounds to stop the fight. They didn't. It is what it is. He got the victory, but a lot of people felt he shouldn't have. So no surprise that Zhang is getting another opportunity. But this is the thing, right? Joyce is getting ready to defend because he has an interim WBO heavyweight title. He's getting ready to defend that title against Zhilei, right? They're fighting 15 April. They're going to be fighting in London, England. But this is the thing, man. This is going to be like a rock'em sock'em robots. These guys are going to be banging. But we know this is going to tell us we know Joyce has a chin out of this world. But that Zhang's power is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Joyce is going to get in here, and he's okay with taking punches. His defense, his face is his defense. In boxing, most guys try to get their guard up. They try to slip punches. Joyce just puts his face in front of the punches, eats them, and keeps coming forward. I honestly, and I'm not biased, right? I honestly think Joyce takes that straight left from Zhang. Joyce going to end up in that front row. I'm just being honest. I think his head going to end up in that front row. I'm just telling you, Zhang is the real deal. Now, this is the thing. It's an excellent fight for the unbeaten Joyce, right? When these fighters in these holding patterns, man, they gotta figure something out, because getting a shot at mandated positions and mandated title shots is just something that is not easy to do when you're trying to get a title shot at a guy who's a unified champion and has all those belts. And those guys who are the unified champion, Usyk, is trying to make an undisputed bout with Tyson Fury. And then now you could have Wilder somehow slipping through the cracks because everyone else is busy. So look at what just happened. Look at everyone who's been freed up. Look, Hrgovic was available, putting pressure on Usyk. Now he's busy, right? Daniel Dubois, he's still in the breeze, but there really is no. He holds no weight. You understand? Nobody wants to see Daniel Dubois fight Usyk. Remember, boxing is all about money. It's all about money, right? You got Tyson Fury who's saying he's not going to budge, so now negotiations are falling apart. Zhang is busy now. AJ is out here trying to do something else. So when it comes to the heavyweights right now, right, the two fighters who don't really have anything going on, Andy Ruiz is busy. Luis Ortiz ain't getting no shots. Frank Sanchez ain't getting no shots. So the next two big names is Usyk and Wilder, floating around that look like they don't have a commitment to anyone or anything, because everything else is shaping up to where they're being put in positions where it's like Wilder and Usyk are being freed up to go fight. I'm telling you, Wilder and Usyk are about to fight. I swear, I think that's what's going to happen. But let's just check this out now. Usyk is supposed to be expecting a fight with Tyson Fury, but I just don't think it's going to happen. So now it frees up Usyk. Now we got to understand now, right? So that's what I'm saying about Wilder and Usyk. But let's take a look at what's going on here. We talk about Zhang, right? I already told you. If you don't know who Zhang is, or Zhilei, you know, a lot of times Chinese people put the first name last name first, right? He can hit, man. He's got that kind of power that's going to trouble anyone. And I just don't think Joyce should be standing in front of him. Look, Zhilei hit. He got that damn Deontay Wilder power. I'm just saying, man. I'm not saying he's strong, but he's up there. He can crack. If he hits you with that left hand, I just can't see Joyce standing up to that power. I'm just being honest with you, man. What, Joyce is about 6'6", Zhang is about 6'6". These are big, big boys, man. And Zhang has 19 knockouts, 24 wins. So all I'm saying, this could end up being one of those the last man standing kind of deals. You know what I'm saying? Now, for what's his name, Joyce. Look, he's got a beard on him. The man can take a shot, but his stamina is on another level. You always hear the saying, speed kills. They have the classic argument between what is more important, speed or power. But let me tell you something. When you have stamina and you can fight hard every round and you get stronger as every round goes by, that pays dividends. That's what you have in Joyce. But the problem is this. Joyce, this man's almost 40 years old. He doesn't look it. Joyce, 37 going on 38. So his clock is ticking. And you just never know when you've been taking the kind of damage, right? Whether we want to admit it or not, Joyce has been taking damage because that's just the way he fights. You just don't know when that's going to show up, or when a fighter like that who's used to just taking shots to get his off, right? Take 10 shots to get your one off. You just don't know when you're going to start showing those signs of wear and tear, okay? Because those grueling fights take a toll on you. And we understand Joyce coming off of what he did with Parker. People could say it was a career-defining fight, and it wasn't expected. I kind of call that. Parker knew what he was getting into with Joyce. The way he got knocked out, I wasn't really expecting that, but I knew Joyce was going to win that fight. So now when you look at what's going to happen here, man, when they talk about Joyce, Zhilei, the type of heavy shots and stuff that are going to be dished out, I just think it's about time where people start really paying attention to this guy, Zhang. I have a feeling. Look, I don't really want to try to predict this because I don't want to sound biased because I like Zhang. But let me tell you, Zhang, I always said he could fight. Look at when I started this channel not even a year ago, and look at what I said about him. What he did in that Hrgovic fight told me. He worked on his condition. He got tired, but he made it to the end of that 12th round. Zhang, the fights before that, his conditioning was horrible. But what that tells me is I'm sure going into a fight with Joyce that he's been working on his conditioning. I mean, look, 6'6", 250, 260 pounds, man. You know how difficult it is to move that kind of weight around for 12 rounds? That's all I'm saying. It's not easy. And he was able to get himself in a great condition for that Hrgovic fight. And if he continued with that regimen, instead of just sitting back and slacking, and he continued to work, and he had a very focused training on his stamina, Zhang could be in position to pull off a serious upset here. That's all I'm saying, man. Because most people, I still think a lot of people don't know much about the Chinese fighter Zhang. But when he gets in there with Joe Joyce, and if he clips him, oh, they're gonna be talking then. Because right now, Joe Joyce has everyone's attention in the heavyweight division because you just feel like you can't put a dent in him. But if Zhilei is able to do it, Zhilei is just where he wants to be, and Fast Eddie Hearn from Snatch Room, he's gonna be so happy because he already has Lashua out there, right? You know, Lashua, AJ. Let me tell you something. I think Eddie Hearn is really looking for the next big thing, and he's getting ready for that Anthony Joshua to retire or whatever the hell Joshua's going to do. But Eddie Hearn has Hrgovic and he has Zhang, and he's trying to put those guys in position to get him a good opportunity to end up fighting and to pick up some kind of title. Like Eddie Hearn, you watch. If Zhang Zhilei beats Joe Joyce and he picks up that interim title, oh my gosh. You watch how Eddie Hearn start talking. You swear to God, he just won $1 billion, which he probably need that billion to repay his own anyway, but he out here going crazy. He'll be going crazy if he get any kind of hardware back in his back over at Snatch Room. So that being said, there are some people who are commenting talking about Zhang Zhilei. And they're saying how they love the Chinese giant. That's how they refer to him, as a Chinese giant. And a lot of people who didn't know about him, well, I say those few people who know about him, a lot of them are saying that they became fans of his after watching him fight Flip Hrgovic. Now, if you guys haven't seen that Flip Hrgovic versus Zhang Zhilei fight, go watch it. It is not a boring fight, but just go watch that fight and listen to those bombs that were getting dropped in that ring. They both hurt each other. There were times that they both looked like it may be over, but that guy, Zhang Zhilei, that left-hand bomb, I'm telling you, is a problem. He can fight. But I don't know. Both of them are kind of, you know, a lot of these guys at the heavyweight, I don't know if y'all realize it, those guys are heading towards 40 years old, man. You know, them guys are, 35, 36, 37, 38. I mean, Luis Ortiz is 62, you know what I mean? That old Cuban Cadillac has about 500,000 miles on them. But it is what it is. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen and which one of them can turn the other into a drooling zombie, because that's exactly what we're going to have here. Absolutely great fight, man. Zhang is no joke, and I am excited to see this. In April, I am going to be tuned in, man. I'll probably go live for that because I really enjoy watching both of them fight. Great scrap. I'm telling you, this is a fight you don't want to miss. But that being said, y'all keep cool. This made my night, man, because I was wondering, what the hell are they doing with Zhang Zhilei? But obviously behind the scenes, things are being worked. So more to come on the heavyweight division. I have a feeling we're going to get an announcement sooner than later that Deontay Wilder and Alexander Usyk agreed to a deal. Watch. May say I'm crazy, but we'll see what materializes. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I'm in the breeze.